With future plans for a new show and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. It appears that WWE star Braun Strowman is at the center of controversy as he posted a picture of a buck he killed, writing, "All the hard work I put in this year, my property paid off tonight. Was blessed to be able to harvest this beautiful buck. This will feed me and my family many organic, healthy meals through the next few months. Made a great shot with my Raven crossbow at 33 yards, and he only went 43 yards after he was hit. Makes me very happy to know it was quick and humane." Many reacted to this writing. Humane? How the hell is a poor defenseless animal who is going about its life perfectly happy, then next second it's dead? You that poor animal. I used to like you, but now I despise you, and if I ever saw you, I'd give you the same treatment as you gave that poor animal. I eat meat and can appreciate this buck was hunted for food, but I'll just never understand why someone is cool with taking or posting a photo with a literal carcass. It's a weird vibe. It's one thing to kill for food, but to take a photo with its lifeless body is just strange. Strowman responded to one fan and said, "Wasn't innocent. It's been eating my yard." Another fan wrote, "If you had done this in India, you would have been arrested." Going over how Hulk Hogan rejected invites to dinner from Cher and Madonna, Ringside News wrote that while speaking to the PBD podcast, Hulk Hogan claims he once turned down invitations to meet up with Cher and Madonna. Reflecting on his experience with celebrity culture, he recalls a surreal moment at the Twin Towers when he was attending Vince's birthday party with his wife. A cop approached him, tapped him on the shoulder, and said Cher had sent her limo downstairs inviting him to dinner. Hogan was surprised, initially dismissing the idea as a misunderstanding until the cop clarified it was, in fact, Cher, the famous singer. Hogan found it strange that she assumed he would simply get in the car and join her. When asked if he accepted the invitation, Hogan laughed, saying he did not, noting that he was with his wife and wouldn't have gone anyway. The thing that really got me with the whole celebrity thing was when I was sitting at the Twin Towers one day with my wife at Vince's birthday party. This cop comes up, taps me on the shoulder, and I said, "Yes, so now I'm sitting with my wife, right?" And the guy goes, "Oh, Cher sent her limo for you. It's downstairs. She wants you to come over and have dinner with her." I'm like, "Cher? What are you talking about?" And he says, "No, the Cher, the singer." I didn't know what to make of it. I said, "Get out of here. What are you talking about?" But, it was kind of weird because she just thought she could send a car and I'd jump in and go running over there. No, brother, come on. I was with my wife. I wouldn't do that anyway. Hogan also remembered another encounter with Madonna. Around the time she released her S&M book, she hosted a party in New York City, sending a car to bring him over from his performance at Madison Square Garden. Again, he declined the invitation as he was with his wife that night and had no interest in attending. Reflecting on these moments, Hogan realized how his wrestling persona had created unexpected appeal and connections in the celebrity world. Then there was another time when Madonna put out that S&M book. I can't remember what they called it. She had a party in New York City and I was at the Garden that night. She sent a car to pick me up to come to her party, and once again I was with my wife, so I'm not doing that stuff. But yeah, those things catch you off guard, and that's when you kind of realize that the character crosses over into that world. Talking about the upcoming NXT show that will take place at the old ECW arena, North American champion Tony D'Angelo told The Takedown, "I'm not able to speak on the company's behalf as far as that goes, but do I selfishly want that to happen? Absolutely. I think that would be very cool, especially with all the history that the FBI has in that building. I think it would be great for the D'Angelo family to work with the full-blooded Italians. We'll see what Nunzio is doing. Maybe I'll give him a call. I know a few guys he works with, so maybe we can put something together." As WWE, Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, and TKO Group Holdings are being sued over the Ring Boy scandal from years ago, the brother of former Ring Boy Tom Cole, who alleged abuse by those in WWE, Lee Cole, said this to Brandon Thurston and Josh Pollock of WrestleNomics. Well, the last day my brother was alive, I got text too. I had them on my phone to show it. He sent me text initially and I got worried about him, so I called him. We ended up talking on the phone for 2 hours and he told me, "Lee, let everybody know what these people did to me." I remember responding to him in the text, "Tom, what more can we do? No one's listening anymore." But Tom said to me, "Lee, I know you. If you keep it up, I know that something will happen." I never thought anything was going to happen. Previously, former WWE star Santino Marella revealed that he underwent stem cell treatment, writing, "My recent trip to RejuveStem Cancun included intradiscal injections in the cervical and lumbar area, stem cell injections in both my knees, my right shoulder, and my right bicep. Not to mention 100 million stem cells intravenously directed to the correct body parts via intentional inflammation, aka shockwave therapy. This hyperbaric chamber was intense too. Oxygenating the body increases the effectiveness of the stem cells. I couldn't take any pics in the operating room for my spinal injections, but those are the results I'm looking forward to the most." Recalling his gimmick in WWE as the stalker of The Undertaker's wife, Diamond Dallas Page, said this to Inside the Ropes. "I came in there with Kimberly, his then wife. Shane McMahon was there and they brought me this whole stalker angle. Now I'm thinking, you're looking at Kimberly like, seriously, I'm going to stalk some other chick? But I didn't want to. I was trying to be political and I was like, well, you know, that doesn't really work for my character. I can understand if I'm doing this to bring out the best in Undertaker, blah, blah, blah." And we go back and forth about it and they really think it's going to be awesome. When I tell you it was the worst decision I made and the best decision I ever made in my life, I don't say anything. What I should have said was, it's a great idea for someone else. When you want to do People's Champion versus People's Champion, call me. If I walk out there, get in the elevator, I'm not going to make it to the airport. He would have called me back and brought me right back in. I didn't do that. Why is it the best decision? Why it was the best decision? It made me a much smarter businessman. Giving his thoughts on Solo Sikoa's role in the Bloodline faction in WWE, Bully Ray noted on Busted Open Radio, Solo was a supporting member of the Bloodline and his job was to go out there and look like a bad mother trucker. Look forward, don't laugh, don't smile, don't move your feet. Cold-hearted assassin who just spiked people at will whenever Roman told him to, and just by standing there and doing nothing got Solo over, and then when he did it, it was impactful and it meant something. Solo was protected and played to his strengths as he was coming up through the ranks. Asked which modern WWE stars that his late father Stu Hart would be a fan of, Bret Hart told the wrestling classic, Brock Lesnar. "My dad would have loved to have had a couple hours with him in the basement, and I think Brock Lesnar would have been a big fan of my dad too. I know the last year or two that my dad was alive, I do remember him making a special trip down to Saddledome in Calgary just to meet Brock Lesnar. I think my dad would have had a lot of fun with Steve Austin. I always loved when Steve Austin grabbed my dad at that Canadian Stampede pay-per-view and shook him up in the front row. My dad loved that kind of stuff. He loved to be included and loved to be remembered and sort of respected and treated the way Steve Austin treated him, like he was somebody important." With many speculating on a new potential show for AEW, Ringside News wrote that AEW's rumored plans to launch Shockwave on Fox might not be as close to reality as fans hoped. Though excitement has been building, with reports that AEW and Fox have been in talks for over a month, Dave Meltzer suggests we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves. During the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer addressed the status of the potential deal. "No, nothing new. No, I have no sense that anything is imminent. I think if it was imminent, we would have an inkling speaking of it, but not that it's dead either. While AEW recently filed a trademark for AEW Shockwave and Swerve Strickland even teased AEW's presence on Fox, Meltzer's statement suggests things are far from finalized. Initially, it was speculated that Shockwave could debut on Tuesdays or Thursdays, potentially reigniting the rivalry with WWE NXT, but it looks like we may need to wait longer to see if this materializes. AEW's ongoing relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery remains solid, but the Fox deal, which would see AEW programming replace the void left by WWE SmackDown, is still up in the air. With no formal announcement in sight, it's unclear when or if this new show will come to life. Providing an update on GCW star Nick Gage, Ringside News wrote Nick Gage was expected to face Drew Parker at GCW Homecoming on August 24th, but was unexpectedly absent. GCW promoter Brett Lauderdale addressed the crowd, explaining that Gage couldn't make it and was unsure when he'd return. Lauderdale reassured fans when he's ready, Gage will always have a home at GCW. Now, Gage has broken his silence, sharing insights into his relationship with GCW, his personal struggles, and future plans during a recent appearance on Boulevard Bullies. First off, Brett Lauderdale is my friend, my best friend. He's done a lot for my career, Gage said. GCW is always going to be my home. I love Brett, I love his family, but sometimes you have to move on in your career. Sometimes you don't see eye to eye with your friends. Maybe down the road we can sit down. It's a little bit of everything. Life moves on. When asked about GCW's January event at Hammerstein Ballroom, Gage admitted that no conversations about his involvement have taken place yet. He's doing him and focused on himself. I'm totally focused on myself, my brand, building bridges. I'm building a team. I'm building a squad. Addressing rumors about his time in rehab, Gage confirmed that the speculation was true. I am proud that I went there. I will never apologize for that. I was exhausted. I was headed down the wrong path. I'm glad I noticed that and that I had people in my corner. I'm glad I went there. It helped me out. I will never apologize for going there. Nobody made me leave that place. Nobody makes me do anything. Talking about requesting his release from WWE on social media in 2016, Cody Rhodes told the Flagrant podcast, "I apologize to any wrestler today in any company who thinks they're going to get a release because I ruined it for a lot of people. Here's why. I didn't ask. I told them. I said, hey, I'll see you next week, and then I added, no you won't. I remember telling the talent relations guy, no you won't. Of course, everyone has their emotional, drama-filled weeks, and maybe they thought it was just that. But I actually put my statement out on social media saying, hey, thank you so much, I'm done. Once it was out there, there was no going back. It was a huge gamble because I could have been sued. To this day, I don't think I've ever signed my release contract. I never signed anything after that, even though it was sent to my house. I could have been sued, and I probably should have been, but I needed to take a very big risk and gamble in that moment. I felt I had earned it. I thought with all the respect they had for my family and everything I had done, never slipping up and doing everything they asked, just give me this one thing and let me ride off. They weren't going to chase me." And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.